we've just got nothing to lose, and it's just going to be free-flowing, fully attacking footy.
Thanks, mate. Thanks very much to Braden Ingram. Thanks to Life Care. We had technical difficulties in the delivery of that message from Andrew Tranquilli, but basically Doncaster looking to tackle more and show greater ferocity in this final term, despite the fact that the game is done and dusted, but they still will win the clearance here as we start the final term through Anarchus. A senseiling ball towards full forward. Mark dropped at the back there by Jarvis, and eventually it falls out of play in the forward pocket in the Doncaster forward half of the ground. And Andy, what could Doncaster do to look for solace here?
Just play with pride, play for the jumper, show them what the Doncaster Football Club are made of. Yes, they're 80 points down at the moment, but look, just to win this quarter and just play football in the Doncaster way will at least leave them with some sort of smile on their face.
The Lions by 80 points, and no, we're not pulling your leg as Siakoulis takes it over the boundary line, deep inside his defensive half in the forward pocket for Doncaster. Certainly they are pushing in this final term to at least gain some respectability on that scoreboard, the Sharks. Ball back into play. Jarvis now contesting in the ruck. Young tapping it from the ruck contest as well as they dive on top of the football. A plethora of players, and they can't extricate it, so we'll have a bounce deep inside the Sharks 50 once again. So it'll be interesting to see whether Mulgrave can push this margin beyond 100 points. The Sharks don't want to see that occur as Siakoulis lets fly with a snap-on goal, but it floats across the face and only a minus score. So the Sharks move on to 2-5-17. They trail Mulgrave 14-12-96. We've gone just over a minute on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard in this final term. Let's head boundary side thanks to Life Care, and Blake Gray is down there.
Yeah, three-quarter time, boys. Luke Parker of Mulgrave grabbed his teammates before they came into huddle and reminded them of last week, in which they kicked 11 goals against Bayswater in the final quarter to drag themselves here. He said, stay focused and let's get the win, fellas.
Spot on, Blake Gray today. Thanks to Life Care. I've got a three-quarter time score between Wanturna South and Mitcham. It's the Devils by 18 points, but Mitcham kicking with the breeze in the last term. So
that's set up.
We'll keep you right up to date with that as the next half an hour or so unfolds. Mark Peduto in quiet this afternoon. Got a lot of friends though. Kicks the ball inside forward 50. Jarvis came over the top of Knowles. Not necessary in the end. Probably should have just allowed the fist and gave away the free kick. So it's another freebie to the Lions. Kick goes up towards the Brad Fowler direction. He'll rise from the back. Fowler couldn't quite pull it down. McKenzie wrestles him out of the contest and then worked himself back into the contest. The big man, well done there. Stucks on the mill, and we'll have a bounce right in front of Ryan James in the Mulgrave bench. He'll be a very happy man down there today. Playing some damn good football coming into the very, very pointy end of the season. So over the boundary line it goes, and who would have thought this time last week they were staring down the barrel of missing out on the finals. They came from the bleachers, knocked off Bayswater, and now they're absolutely giving it to the Doncaster Football Club. It's a fantastic effort.
I tipped them.
Bravo, Damien Watson.
Yeah, you're the only one I can tell you.
The kick goes out. Muller trapped the football. Handball over the top looking for Galache. Handball back to Parker for Doncaster. Squeezed to kick somehow up to half forward, but nobody's home except a bigger Rod Glabman. Takes the mark.
It's been a very, very influential player, particularly early on when the game needed to be won.
He's been good, hasn't he, as Parker goes up, takes the mark. Kicks the ball up towards centre half forward now. The big fly over the back from Schimmelbusch, who's been moved forward. I see Cabela's got it away to Fiora. He loves this, Aaron Fiora. Can he bring it back enough? Yes, he can. That's his first goal of the afternoon. That's his forte. Aaron Fiora on the left boot. 3 goals now to the Doncaster Football Club on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. They are 3-5-23. Mulgrave at 14 goals, 12-96.
Yeah, nice play from Luke Parker to take the mark and just take the game on from there, and they worked their way up to centre half forward. And Fiora, it's one of those things where class is permanent, and he showed it there with a nice running goal.
How important is it, Steve, when it's the last term of the season? The game is lost, obviously, for Doncaster, but to at least gain some sort of respectability.
Yeah, they've just got to keep cracking it at the moment, and at least show the supporters and you know, and I suppose their coach as well that they did deserve to be here. They finished off the home and away season very, very well, and look, they were one of the third or the fourth best team in it. So look, it is there, but they've just got to finish it off really well.
Well, Lumachisi won the free kick out of the ruck contest, sends a tumbling punt towards centre half forward. Peduto on the right foot, his kick was smothered, and again Mulgrave nullifying the attack at the Sharks as Eddie brings it forward from centre half back. finds his intended target in Fowler. Between halfback and centre wing here, they've got a number of options out wide. He opts to switch the play towards centre wing along the boundary line. Mark taken by Stokey. Looks inboard and finds Jamar. There's been a live wire all afternoon. Back it comes to Fowler at centre half-back. They switch the play to the eastern side of the ground, and it's successful as they find the target in Young, who's been a sensational contributor all afternoon, particularly in the second half. Loops the hand pass back to Jamar. They move it through the corridor here, the Lions with the transition. Hand pass over the top. Tries to find Roper. Was unsuccessful. Anarchis provides the intercept. Gets the hand pass on to Ben Johnson. This is his forte. 55 metres out on the run. Vacant square. Goal to the Sharks. Sensational play. And Doncaster gained some sort of consolation prize there. 4-5-29 the Sharks. Mulgrave 14-12-96. We got 6 minutes in the final term on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Yeah, Jamar just mucking around with it a little bit too much there, and great counter-attacking play from Doncaster there. And it's one of those same things where class is permanent. Could probably repeat myself with Ben Johnson kicking a nice running goal. And
they've stepped up the pressure as well. This is you wonder why. You see it in the first 5 minutes of this quarter, and you wonder where it's been the whole game. If they had played like this in the first or second quarters, they'd be well and truly in this match.
Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap Match Stats.
Doncaster with the first 5 inside 50s this quarter. That's 3 times they've done it out of 4, yet they're 67 points down.
Wow. Right on top of it, our stats man, Fowler, over the top, looking for Roper. On the right boot now, sends it in towards the Wazer direction. Nicely fisted it away by Arumboldi over the boundary line and out of bounds. 50 metres out from the Mulgrave goals. Doncaster goals, I should say. So, not much for the crowd to cheer about today. It's been a good crowd out here, but if you're a Mulgrave fan, you've certainly enjoyed it. You're coming for a close contest. You've been disappointed, but you've seen a pretty decent side in Mulgrave go about their business. Muller over the top to Hill on the right boot, sends the ball up towards the wing position. Nicely done there by Gilling, but Fiora read the ball better. On the left boot now, swings it up. Schimmelbusch was there, couldn't quite pick it up. See Cavallis also wrapped up in a beautiful tackle there by Leicester, brought him to ground and won the stoppage, so ball will be thrown up. 55 metres out from the Doncaster goals. Eventually get it right. Kick goes towards Cheeseman. Muller's right there too. He's tried Muller today, got the handball across to see Cavallis, in turn out to Johnson, eventually tries to squeeze a kick up towards the top of the goal square, didn't have enough purchase on it, so West, who's kicked 3 goals today, is able to mop up for the Lions, and he bounces his way across half-back.
Elects to hand pass over the top after the third bounce, receives the 1-2 back from Gilling. West continues to run, then does a 360 and tries to twirl around a couple of Doncaster players. Back it comes to Gilling. Umpire calls advantage. All the players stopped except Gilling, who roams forward on centre wing. Kicks towards the half-forward line. Rambaldi again affecting the spoil for Doncaster, but it's all loose pickings here for the Lions. Stokey chips it over the top in the direction there of Edwards. Couldn't quite take it. Clever soccer over the top. What an assist, and Siakoulis roams into the open goal, and that sums up Mulgrave's joy for the day. They move on to 15-12-102, leading Doncaster 4-5-29 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, but that would have to be one of the assists of the year.
Yeah,
from the opposition.
I thought it was Rob Edwards that got the punch.
Yeah, I thought it was Edwards.
Yeah, Edwards, he just got a fist over and the ball
it's like
looped over the top to Siakoulis, who's had a great game, and Mulgrave moved to over 100 points. That might not, I don't think they would have done that too many times this season.
3rd time this year.
There you go. So well done to Mulgrave.
15-12 plays 4-5. We've gone 9 minutes now in this final term. Limacheesi, little handball out to Anarchis. He's been absolutely super today, Anarchis. Bouncing football, and Marco all the way, wrong and across the face of goal and over the boundary line and out of bounds. 20 metres out from the Doncaster goals now.
Nathan Lyon would have been proud of that one.
Certainly had some turn.
How many Australian spinners have you mentioned today?
Oh, just the 2. I do like my Australian off spinners. So
yeah.
Tim May and Nathan Lyon got a bit of a run.
Go for a whole list after the game.
Yeah, that's it.
Brings it back in. Jarvis and Gladman had the front spot. Little fresh air shot goes out towards the defensive arc. Bouncing football, and Narcus takes it. Knowles is on his hammer, brings him to ground, and will have a bounce.
Shane Warnside's getting thrashed over in Adelaide, by the way. BWS just had another spinner.
Full of comedians in the box this afternoon as Cheeseman comes out, rushes it over the boundary line. Good old shame Adelaide can't make it, isn't it? Tigers are getting into the finals. You're happy about that, aren't you, Bucksy?
Very, very, very happy about that, Benny. Fair bit of stick we copped early on.
Yes.
3 and 10, I believe.
To 12 and 10. What a turnaround.
James C. Cavallis right on his hammer. Luke Parker, and over she goes once again. So Wantirna South led by 18 points against Mitcham at three-quarter time. Hoping a score can come through pretty shortly of an updated one of that game. Mitcham coming home with the breeze.
Could possibly cross to Brad Henderson, a la around the ground style.
Yeah, it's certainly been done before. Frosty can do it, certainly Hendo can do it. So, game just slowing down a little bit here. Butler takes the mark. Handball's off now. They'll use the member side here. Butler will get the handball receive. He has to sit up for him. It does. Little kick over the top, went straight through the legs of Roper. There to mop up for Doncaster was Muller. Handball in the Anarchist direction. Roper went down for Mulgrave, but got the handball out wide. Booth was waiting for it. Parker for Doncaster to Anarchist, who was dispossessed of the football. Roper eventually little handball out, but to no avail, out of bounds on the full. Doncaster win the free kick. In fact, it's Mackenzie's given away a free kick, and now he's just mouthed off again, so add another 25-metre penalty to that.
Just the tackle was too crude, the umpire deemed, and well, Mackenzie forced the errant kick, so he was particularly not happy with that one.
So it will be Willsmore. Jamar short. It's been very good, Jamar. He asked for it, so he got it. Back to Willsmore. Had to go back to the left, and Arcus smothers the ball over the boundary line and out of bounds. We cross down boundary side thanks to Life Care.
Yeah, you just wanted an update on that Mitcham and Wani South game. Just going off Connor Ryan on Twitter, 5 minutes in. Tigers kicked 3 quick ones, scores a level BWS. So you might need to get Brad on the phone. It's a close one.
Well, it seems like all the good games are happening where we're not today, because the Ball and Tigers lead by by a goal 10 minutes into the final term over Blackburn.
We'll keep you updated as Lubachisi springs to his feet, eventually evades a couple of tackles, but again the hand pass missed the target and then coat hanged his opponent. That is possible term. And away they go, the Lions. Fredericks towards centre half forward. The kick found no one in particular except Muller, who stood in the way for the Sharks. At centre half back, looks out wide to the western wing. Mackenzie got the hand pass over to Hill. Evaded one tackle, couldn't quite evade the second, and a brilliant tackle effected by Roper. Caesar holding the ball decision, and that sums up Doncaster's day. Just not quite able to break the lines. And a bit of how do you do between the two opponents. So Roper's the recipient from centre wing. Switches the play inboard towards the corridor. Mark taken by Young, who's been stellar in the second half. Looks out wide. They've got pace and space to burn here, the Lions. Kick towards centre half forward. Missed the intended target. Marganis flew high. Couldn't quite take the mark. Paddles it along the ground to the advantage of Muller. Got the hand pass back over the top to Parker. Swings it out wide with a looping hand pass to Coleman. Takes a bounce. Now has to backtrack. Fiora, who's had a lot of the football in this second half as well. And again, confronted and corralled by a couple of Lions, but he had the composure to go to Coleman. He was bumped off the football. Now a chance for the Lions. Kick towards the forward pocket. A big fly. Fowler has been paid the mark on the second bite, and he's 55 metres out from goal, but he's hard up against the boundary line.
Booth.
Fowler, a long kick in the Booth direction. It's hoisted high. Booth flies, couldn't quite take the mark. Mackenzie just lumbers over the top, gives the hand pass towards Anarchis, again missing the target with a disposal. Hand pass eventually comes out to Gladman, breaks the tackle with the don't argue, kicks out wide, and Booth, that's nonchalance. Took a one-handed, uncontested mark, looks towards Wazer. Brilliantly done there by Ramboldi, and he's taken the mark on the second bite, and he can clear from his defensive zone.
Great call, Damo. Short passes on to Mackenzie. He'll look up Johnson. And a mountain of the football. Short passes on out wide. 14 minutes gone in this final term. Nick Coleman on the right boot. Sends it out towards the wing position. A towards Fiora, who's sort of come into this game in this last quarter. Little handball off. It was looking for Parker. He dropped what he probably should have taken, but had time to steady. The kick goes inside forward 50. It's a 3-on-1 situation. Jarvis had a bit of a fresh air shot then, so Young was there to mop up the spills. Little handball out wide to Willsmore. Backwards to go forwards. This is Leicester. Switches the play. That was good. That was good poise out towards the Gilling direction, and he'll be able to take off. He might use Jamar as a link man. Instead, drives the ball down the wing position. It was a one-on-one contest, and Doncaster will win out this. Kick up towards the half-forward line now for them. A big fly over the back. What a sensational mark by Butler. He just used his opponent as a perfect step ladder. Foot in the back, spot on, and the kick goes further afield to Siakoulis, who looked like everything stopped there. He had a mountain of time, swings the ball out wide, bouncing football towards the Roper direction. He's got Chris Anarkas right on his hammer. Anarkas just knew when to get rid of his opponents and then sidestepped one as well. Handball across to Malloy, 55 metres out from goal. Malloy set sail towards the goals, but he pushed it to the right-hand side and through for a minor score. That's Doncaster's 6th for the afternoon. 4-6. 30, 15, 12, 102, so 72-point lead to the Mulgrave Football Club.
So the Lions to clear from full-back. They are based near Waverley Park, the Mulgrave Football Club, and it certainly has been a windy day this afternoon, and certainly Waverley Park was renowned for its wind back in the day, so perhaps they're acclimatising well to the conditions. As the mark taken by Siakoulis on the halfback.
You would have just been a boy back in the Waverley days.
Oh, I love the history of footy, mate. I may live 10 kilometres from the place, so I know about the wind as Gladman takes it from the full-back position. He tried to level it up here, but Doncaster have the numbers. Snap around the quarter came from Grocott, but again it's drifted off target and only a minor score to the left. So Doncaster move on to 4-7-31. They trail Mulgrave 15-12-102. We've gone 16 minutes of the final term on the Bendigo Bag scoreboard. Let's head to Grant Campbell for some Choose Tap match stats.
Credit to Doncaster for playing out this final quarter. They lead the inside 50s 12-5.
Player of the day today, winning a Trojan toolkit.
Not bad. What does that contain?
Well, it's a cardboard box, but it's filled to the brim with tools. So we've run out of the actual kit, but it's all about the tools anyway.
Are you in the box there, BWS?
Sorry?
I said, are you in the box, mate? You said it's full of tools, so...
It's full of tools.
Just got to ask.
It's full of tools.
Bit like this box.
Well, that's where I was just about to go. Over the boundary line and out of bounds, 55 metres out. Sting well and truly out of this game, hoping some more scores can come on through. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, Dyson Baker. And it is a kit today, as Bruce Prester shows me. Dyson's just text through as well, so they do get the whole kit and caboodle today. So
well played.
In a cardboard box all year. The only time I've called it a goddamn cardboard box demo and they've got a toolkit out. I don't believe it. Grocott has it about 50 metres out. Gave it away to Carroll. He'll kick it to the hot spot. 20 metres. A big fly there by, I think it was Colinari. He couldn't quite pull it down. They'll try and force the behind here through West Mulgrave. Paddling towards the boundary line. Jarv gave another little shove, and Big Humphrey, he's certainly, well, he's known for not saying too much, but he's certainly given the umpire a mouthful there.
Another 25.
Out of 25 to the book, it's...
There'll be multiple 25-metre penalties awarded today.
Some sort of record.
7.
Wow.
It's obviously a sense of frustration. They've realised that the game's done and dusted, and I suppose feeling they've had a bit of a rough stick from the umpires today. But Mulgrave, well, they played it all on their terms, and hence why they're winning this football game by a big margin. Parker gets it across to Jamar on the far side. They've moved the ball up to the half-forward line. Cheeseman presents inside forward 50, so too does David Wazer. He might be a little bit too far out. He swings around on the left boot now. Lester's there. It holds up in the ball. Cheeseman, he just turned his player inside out, and he just judged the ball perfectly. It sat up in the wind, and he takes it about 40 metres out from goal.
Well, just playing the conditions better with Mulgrave. Obviously, Wazer's kick tremendously held up in the wind, and Cheeseman just, as you said, BWS just read it better and took the mark in the right place.
Yeah, Jamar's running carries is super important for Mulgrave. He's killed him pretty much all day, and he's had another a very good last quarter as well. So, look, for mine, it'd be him or Gelling when the game was on the line early, who'd be best for Mulgrave today.
Cheeseman, just a little pot shot into the top of the goal square. It was almost pulled in by Edwards, dispossessed to the football, eventually run over by Carroll. No, it stays alive. Kinnear's in there to lay the tackle. Umpire will come in and bounce about 20 metres out from goal. Crowd somewhat disappearing out here. Bar still open and the burgers are still cooking, so Plenty of reason for me to hang around, that's for sure, as Mackenzie just traps it about 20 metres out. Let's cross down boundary side thanks to Life Care.
Yeah, it's very chilly down here. I think they're passing around the hip flask down here just to keep warm, BWS, so need a bit of heat down here pretty quickly.
Nothing wrong with the nightcap. The free kick's been paid.
He'd take Mackenzie off now before he does something stupid.
He's really had a dog of a day as far as giving away free kicks. Mackenzie's just not letting up, and the ball's in the arms of David Wazer, who's kicked 3 majors this afternoon.
He is prone to it though, BWS.
Wazer, 20 metres out from goal. That's a good-looking kick. As soon as he kicked it, it went straight across the face, and you just wouldn't believe it.
That hit a wall.
It swung all the way back around, and they're still not going to have a shot. Tim Knowles has found space about 40 metres out directly in front, but you don't see that every day of the week. At one point it was looking like it was straight through, and then it nearly came back to where the scoreboard was. So
and now Knowles might not even make the distance, such as the wind strength.
So Timmy Knowles.
The wind's been the best defence of Doncaster all day, I reckon.
45 metres. They have to take a fair old roost from here. He's got some good purchase on it, and he keeps it straight. That's a fantastic kick. That's goal number 4 for David Wazer, goal number 16 for the Mulgrave Football Club. And on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, 16 goals, 12, 108. Doncaster 4-7-31. Sorry, it was Tim Knowles that kicked that goal. Lost the plot.
He's been good today, Tim Knowles. He deserved that goal. He's worked hard around the half-back line. Obviously intercepted a lot of the Doncaster play moving forward, and you know, has been playing that quarterback role. So well done to Tim Knowles today.
So certainly has been an interesting afternoon as a Division 2 pundit. Mulgrave currently leading by 78 points, and we're back in the middle once again. A free kick's been picked out.
Mackenzie again.
Indeed. Mackenzie, it's a red card.
Called it, Steve.
Second yellow card, and as a result, just
he's a silly boy if he keeps going on about it.
It is a shame, isn't it? Because he's had a fantastic season. He's been awarded the best on ground for Doncaster over 10 times, and for him to end the season on this note is certainly quite disappointing from his perspective. So in the meantime, as to the chagrin of the Doncaster supporters, Mackenzie comes off. Mulgrave have possession. Siakoulis couldn't quite take the mark on the second bite. Hand pass comes out, trying to evade the traffic there, and successful is Pearson. Sends a long floating ball towards centre half forward, but again, no targets for the Sharks. And Mulgrave have the numbers across their half-back line. They switch the play. Mark taken by Butler between half-back and centre wing, just to content to chip the ball around here. Jamar takes the mark on the eastern, or in fact western side of centre wing for Tormore Reserve, as Siakoulis takes the mark on centre wing again. They're just chipping the ball around here, Mulgrave, trying to orchestrate an attack and assess the options.
It's been good, Parker.
Indeed, Luke Parker roaming through the centre, kick towards centre half forward. Brilliant mark taken at the back there by Coates. Got the hand pass away, lost possession. Doncaster have the numbers, and Arcus kicks it off the turf, and it should trickle towards the boundary line. It's kept in play, in fact, by Young. Loops the hand pass over the top. Parker again, who's accumulated a lot of the footy, as we mentioned. Young back to Stokey. They're between half-back and centre wing, eastern side of the ground. Young again receives. He's had 4 possessions in that passage of play, and kick to centre half-back where we started. And Jamar takes the mark.
And he's playing with them at the moment.
Certainly
a bit of circle work, isn't it, Steve?
Absolutely.
18 minutes gone in the Division 1 elimination final. It's Baldwin by 13 points. So
big turnaround.
Tigers coming back against Blackburn.
Do you have anything from Mitchell Montana South, BWS?
We're hoping that we can get a text through very soon from Brad Henderson as the kick goes up towards the Wazer direction. Kinnear, it was a good mark. Montana South by 5 points. 17 minutes gone into the final term. Apologies, guys, for today. Peduto. Great games as you go local for your football in the Outer East. Finals time, Choose Tap final series. Roper takes the mark. It's been good as well. Yep. Mulgrave, they've just got good players everywhere today. Short passes on, that's certainly not gone far enough. So Parker goes back to Siakoulis on the right boot. Over to Young. Apparently putting his name up for a couple of votes today. Young, Pearson.
Another 25-metre penalty.
25-metre penalty. So what's the tally up to now, Grant Campbell?
That'd be 8.
Oh, I wonder if that's almost a record for local football level.
Warrandyte gave away 9 against Park Orchards earlier this year, so that's the most in the radio game this season.
Kick goes out wide. Bouncing football. Can Parker keep it alive? He will. Short pass back to Siakoulis. So we talked about kick to kick and playing with them a bit. They're certainly just doing that, running down the clock. There's no need to take any risks or anything like that now. They've got a game next week. Young on the left boot, received it from Roper. In turn goes up to Edwards. Probably one of the more quieter games I've seen from Edwards in recent times, but short passes on. Wasn't too crash hot, but it was okay for Stokey to turn his player in Parker inside out. Back to Young, who's just carving up the posies in the last moment or so. Switches it out towards the Fredericks direction, takes it and takes off. On the right boot, sends it out towards the wing position, and the Lions have got players streaming down the half-forward line towards the Coates direction. If he can go that way, he does. Good fist away there by Shimmerbush. The ball does stay alive, though. He eventually lays the tackle, and a high one at that. So he's unlucky. He certainly had his eyes on the football. His legs were in the wrong spot in the end. The kick goes in towards the 50-metre arc where Fowler versus Lumachese duel takes place. The Cheese is happy to see that over the boundary line and out of bounds, right underneath the Bendigo Bank scoreboard that reads 16 goals, 12, 108. Mulgrave, Doncaster 4, 7, 31. Around the grounds, thanks to the local burger company, it is Wantirna South leading narrowly, as are the Balwyn Tigers in their games today. As the umpire brings it back in, Anarchis, guess who at the fall of the ball received the handball there from Grocott? No, Grocott went on the left boot in the end, switched the ball out wide, and the mark's been taken by Carroll.
So Carroll weaves around onto the right foot, a long floating ball towards centre half forward, a one-on-one contest, free kick's been picked out, and the recipient looks as if it's going to be another Mulgrave player, and the umpire's going to award another 25-metre penalty, so that takes the tally to 9.
Let's see if we can get double figures.
Yes, well, just undisciplined play. It's certainly underpinned Doncaster's day.
Baldwin by 21 points at the 25-minute mark of the final term, so I expect the Tigers to go through next week to take on Montrose next Sunday out at Ringwood Jubilee Park.
Should be a cracking Division 1 clash as Mulgrave move it through the corridor. Mark taken by Fredericks, sends a long ball towards the pocket, and to the joy of the Mulgrave supporters,
the rip in the pocket, they love
takes the mark on the lead, on the chest. He can go back from 30 metres out and have a shot, but although it's on a 45-degree angle, he is kicking against the wind. I must ask, Steve, you've been a coach at Division 2 level. It's been one of those fickle seasons as far as the division is concerned. Do you think that Mulgrave's big upset win today suits the way the year has panned out?
Well, look, I suppose it's followed that trail, but look, I don't see this as a big upset. I thought coming in today, Mulgrave would win. I think they're a better running team, and I knew coming to a big deck that they were going to expose Doncaster. Doncaster's bigger bodies. Look, I think they're better suited to those middle months, June and July, where it's wet and balls in tight and close. And I think that's the same with Croydon. I think you'll see, if the weather's nice next weekend, I think you'll see a similar story next weekend.
Absolutely. Well, Butler scored a behind, but in the meantime, as the kick-out took place, it's a free kick for a high tackle, and the recipient is Luke Parker, who's been everywhere in this second half. Parker spears the ball in the Fredericks direction. He flies from behind in the pocket. Anarchis maintained the front spot, forced it to ground level, then regains it. Swings round onto his right foot and dribbles the kick towards centre wing. Mulgrave have a bevy of numbers, but they're content to see it over the boundary line on the western wing.
Baldwin advance in the Choose Tap final series in Division 1 to the second week to take on the Montrose Football Club next week, winning by 22 points today over Blackburn at full time.
There you go. That's obviously removes Blackburn from the race, so a big win to Baldwin.
They've had a good season though, Blackburn, this year.
Absolutely. We'll keep you updated with the scores from the Mitcham Wantirna South clash as Doncaster move it forward, and a brilliant mark. Culinary maintaining the front position against his opponent, and he took a strong contested mark. He can go back and have a shot from 40 metres out. So Baldwin just reiterating the 22-point victory over Blackburn this afternoon. They keep their season alive.
Yeah, a little message of don't forget about us, Damo.
Yes, exactly. Obviously finishing in 5th as Culinary lines up from 45 metres out and splits the middle. That's Doncaster's 5th major of the afternoon. They move on to 5-7-37, trailing Mulgrave 16-11, 107 by 70 points. We're at the 29-minute mark of the final term on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Grant Campbell, any finalising stats that have stood out in this final term thanks to Choose Tap?
The free kick count, it's 11-2 in the final quarter and 34-9 for the match in favour of Mulgrave.
dying moment to this first semi-final out at Tormore Reserve. Mulgrave have a big lead at 70 points at this stage. Anarchis, another clearance through the middle of the ground, kicks the ball inside forward 50. Hasn't worked out okay on the siren. Young's taken the mark, but there it is, full time out here, and a monster victory, an emphatic victory, an impressive victory by the Mulgrave Football Club today. 16 goals, 11, 107, 70-point winners over Doncaster. 5-7-37. The major goal kickers on the day were David West and David Wazer and Adam Booth with 3 goals apiece, while Doncaster, all their single goal kickers, tallied up their 5 goals. Let's cross down boundary side thanks to Life Care, because we've got a very happy Ryan James with the boys.
Yeah, I'm here with Mulgrave coach Ryan James. Ryan, 3/4 time last week, you're 5 goals down against Bayswater. Did you see yourself here this time? The next